Friends, today I stand before you to talk about an issue that silently affects millions of lives: depression. It is an invisible battle, a storm within the soul, a struggle that makes even the smallest task feel like mountains. But is there a way out? Can we protect ourselves from sinking into this darkness? Yes, we can. And today I will share with you a path of hope, wisdom, and resilience. Depression often feels like an endless void, a darkness that consumes every ounce of joy. But what if I told you that depression is not your enemy, but a teacher? Every challenge in life has a purpose, even the ones that break us. The pain you feel today is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to transform you. The greatest individuals in history have faced moments of despair, yet they rose above them because they understood one thing: suffering is temporary, but growth is permanent. You are not broken, you are evolving into a stronger version of yourself. When we face hardships, we often ask, why me? But have we ever asked, what is this teaching me? Depression teaches patience, resilience, and the true value of happiness. Without struggle, we would never appreciate joy. Without loss, we would never understand gratitude. Everything in life has a balance, and even the hardest moments are preparing us for something greater. Instead of seeing depression as an ending, see it as a new beginning, a phase that, once overcome, will shape you into a wiser, more powerful person. The world often tells us that depression is a sign of weakness, but this couldn't be further from the truth. The strongest people are not those who have never felt sadness, but those who have faced it and refused to let it define them. Your battle with depression is proof of your strength. Every time you get up, even when you don't feel like it, you are proving that depression does not own you. You are not losing this fight, you are learning how to win it. Imagine a diamond. It starts as a rough, unremarkable stone, but through intense pressure and extreme heat, it transforms into something priceless. The same is true for you. Life's pressures, struggles, and pain are not there to destroy you, they are there to refine you. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt is shaping you into something extraordinary. The version of you that emerges from this darkness will be unstoppable. One of the most powerful ways to fight depression is to accept it as part of your journey, not the end of it. When you stop resisting and start understanding that this is just a phase, the weight becomes lighter. Depression does not last forever. It comes like a storm, intense, overwhelming, and painful, but just like every storm, it passes. The key is to hold on, keep moving forward. Even if you can only take small steps, take them. Progress is still progress, no matter how slow. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when hope seems like a distant dream. But remember, the greatest comebacks happen after the hardest falls. You are not alone in this battle. You have strength within you that even you cannot see yet. Trust that this pain is not in vain. You are not at the end of your story, you are at the beginning of a powerful transformation. Keep fighting because the best version of you is waiting on the other side of this struggle. In moments of despair, we often feel like we are carrying the weight of the world alone. The burden of expectations, failures, and heartbreaks can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you are never meant to carry this burden alone? The key to protecting yourself from depression is realizing that you are not in control of everything, but the one who loves you the most is. Allah's plan is greater than our worries, and placing our trust in Him is the most powerful shield against despair. One of the biggest reasons we fall into depression is because we believe we have lost control. We try to shape our lives in a certain way, and when things don't go as planned, we feel helpless. But the truth is, control is an illusion. No matter how much we plan, Allah's wisdom is beyond our understanding. When we let go of this need to control everything and instead trust His divine plan, we find peace. Tawakkul, trust in Allah, is not about being passive, it's about doing your best and leaving the rest to Him. There is a reason why the Quran reminds us, verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Aura 28. When life gets heavy, instead of drowning in overthinking, turn to the one who understands your pain better than anyone else. Prayers, dhikri, remembrance of Allah, and sincere conversations with Him bring a peace that nothing else can. You are never alone, even when the world feels empty. Allah is closer to you than your own soul, and His mercy is greater than your pain. The stories of the prophets teach us that even the strongest of souls face deep sorrow, yet they found peace in their faith. Prophet Yunus was swallowed by a whale, trapped in total darkness, yet he called upon Allah. There is no God but you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers. Surah Al Anbiya 87. And Allah rescued him. If He can rescue a man from the depths of the ocean, He can surely rescue you from the depths of depression. Sometimes the hardships we face are not punishments but signs of love. The difficulties you endure are drawing you closer to Allah, making you stronger, more patient, and more resilient. When you trust Him completely, you will see that even the worst moments are guiding you to something better. No pain is wasted in the eyes of Allah. Every tear, every struggle, every silent prayer, it all matters. Your journey is not hopeless because your Lord is the most merciful. Keep moving forward with faith in your heart, and you will see how beautifully He turns your pain into something meaningful. The more you trust Him, the lighter your burdens will become. Depression may visit, but with faith as your shield, it will never own you. Imagine a person trying to carry a heavy load on their shoulders without ever taking a break. Eventually, their strength gives out and they collapse. This is exactly what happens when we ignore self care. Our mind and body carry burdens until they can no longer hold them. Depression is often the result of neglecting yourself for too long. We take care of our responsibilities, we take care of ourselves. The truth is, mental health is directly connected to self care. When you ignore your well being, depression finds its way in. Many people believe self care is a luxury, something extra to do when there is time. But self care is not optional, it is essential. If you do not take care of yourself, your mind will suffer. Simple habits like getting enough sleep, eating nutritious food, and moving your body can make a significant difference in how you feel. Your brain needs energy, your body needs rest, and your heart needs moments of peace. When you neglect these things, your mind starts breaking down. Depression thrives in exhaustion, poor health, and stress. Taking care of your body is not just about looking good, it is about feeling good. Think about the last time you felt truly happy. Were you outside in nature feeling the sun on your skin? Were you listening to music that lifted your soul? Were you engaged in an activity that made you forget time? These small things matter more than we realize. Our brain releases chemicals like serotonin and dopamine when we engage in things that bring us joy. But when we stop doing these things, our brain stops producing these chemicals, making depression even worse. This is why self care is not selfish, it is survival. Taking time to do what makes your soul happy is not a luxury, it is medicine. Another critical aspect of self care is setting boundaries. How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How often do you put others before yourself even when it drains you? Many people fall into depression because they overextend themselves, giving everything to others while leaving nothing for themselves. Boundaries are not about being selfish, they are about self respect. It is okay to say no. It is okay to step back from toxic situations. It is okay to prioritize your peace. Your mental health should never be sacrificed to please others. Spiritual self care is just as important. Your soul needs nourishment just like your body does. Whether it is through prayer, meditation, or moments of quiet reflection, connecting with something greater than yourself brings inner peace. The Prophet Muhammad often took time alone for reflection, and it was in those moments that he found strength. In the same way, we need time to reconnect with ourselves, to pause, to breathe, and to find clarity. Depression often clouds the mind with confusion, but moments of stillness bring back direction. If you want to protect yourself from depression, start treating self care like a responsibility, not a reward. Eat well, move your body, set boundaries, and engage in things that bring you joy. The way you care for yourself today determines how strong you will be tomorrow. Depression is a battle, but self care is one of your greatest weapons. When you nurture your mind, body, and soul, you build a foundation that makes it harder for depression to take control. Take care of yourself because you deserve to feel whole, happy, and at peace. One of the greatest sources of depression is resistance, resisting what has already happened, fighting what we cannot change, and refusing to let go of what no longer serves us. We often hold on to pain, wishing things were different, replaying past mistakes, and grieving what we have lost. But the reality is, no matter how much we resist, life will not always go as we planned. True inner peace comes not from controlling everything, but from accepting life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It does not mean we stop trying to improve our lives. It means we stop fighting against reality. If something has already happened, no amount of regret or anger will change it. If a person has left, no amount of grief will bring them back. If a door has closed, standing in front of it forever will not open it again. We suffer more from a refusal to accept reality than from reality itself. The moment we embrace life as it is, without unnecessary resistance, a deep sense of peace begins to grow within us. Think of a river. Water flows smoothly when it follows its natural path. But when an obstacle blocks its way, the water crashes against it, struggling, resisting, trying to break through. This is what happens when we refuse to accept life's circumstances. We become stuck, unable to move forward, constantly fighting against something unchangeable. But what if instead we became like water, adapting, flowing, and finding a new path forward? Acceptance allows us to keep moving rather than wasting our energy on things beyond our control. Much of our depression comes from attachment to how we think life should be. We expect people to always treat us well. We expect life to be fair. We expect success to come quickly. But when life does not meet these expectations, we feel betrayed, frustrated, and lost. The problem is not life itself, the problem is our unwillingness to accept that life does not always align with our desires. When we let go of rigid expectations and embrace life as it unfolds, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain. One of the most beautiful forms of acceptance is trusting in Allah's plan. When things do not go our way, it is not because life is unfair, it is because Allah has a better plan for us. How many times have we looked back and realized that what we once cried over turned out to be a blessing? Trusting in divine wisdom brings peace to the heart. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Every hardship carries a hidden lesson, and every setback is a setup for something greater. Acceptance is the key to emotional freedom. It allows us to stop carrying the weight of what we cannot change and instead focus on what we can. Depression thrives on resistance, but peace comes from surrendering to reality. When we accept life as it is, with all its ups and downs, losses and gains, we open the door to true inner peace. The past cannot be changed, but the future is still in our hands. And with acceptance, we can step into that future with clarity, strength, and a heart that is finally free.